So I'm looking for all of you guys to write in the Zoom chat bar, what is your number one challenge? Not deciding enough time to prospect. Deal flow. Okay, keep going. I'm gonna expect even if you're watching this from your phone, you're gonna text this in because we need to utilize this. And that's what's cool is we're adapting and we're progressing. So not dedicate enough time for prospecting. So right before I jumped on this call, here's an example of prospecting that Dominic said I don't do, if I heard him correctly. Okay, my time. You guys see this text? So this is what most people do, and I'm going to tell you what I did differently. Christine, can you at least see it? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, cool. So I got this text about 30 minutes ago that I read it. The model unit in my complex is selling. It hasn't hit the MLS yet. The owner says he will consider selling lower than it hits the list price if someone in the neighborhood or friend is interested. One of my best friends is considering. She's a new home buyer. I told her about my experience getting into Ruby and how you kick ass you are. It sounds like my type of texting. Passing your info on, and she should be reaching out to you shortly. Okay, I want you guys to type in or write down what are the 3 needs that text message said. There were 3 needs from that text message, and I'm going to reread it again to you guys right now. The model unit in my complex is selling. Selling. It hasn't hit the MLS yet. The owner says he'll consider selling a lower than list price if someone in the neighborhood or friend is interested. Okay, did you guys see what those 3 needs are? Alan, unmute yourself. What are the 3 needs, please?
They're looking to sell below list, and they need help with the lender. Awesome. Sorry, I zoned out on that last piece.
Okay, so the model in the unit is selling. So number 1, there's a property selling. Good job, Christine. So number 1, property for sale. Number 2, not on the MLS. Number 3, will sell for less. You guys got that? There's 3 things right up front in the first paragraph of a text. So I set my phone away from my office, my cell phone, so I don't get as distracted from people texting or emailing me or doing whatever. I already got enough distractions with three screens, open concept, and everything else, right? So as I put my phone over there, I go check about once every other hour or so. So in speaking with this individual, I picked up the phone. Here's what most people would do. They would text back, right? Hi, Don Ray Wheeler. Your hair looks impeccable. So here's what I figured out. They have 3 clients they need help with. Not 1, not 2, but 3. You like that one, Alan Walker? And there's more. The average sales price is $450,000. So for all of you guys that are realtors, there's a few. If you got a real estate deal, Don Ray Wheeler, do you get paid a commission for marketing deals?
Yes, for all the clients that close.
Cool. So if you closed a $450,000 purchase or refi, how much would you make on that hypothetically?
About $200.
All right, cool. $200. So let's say she gets the listing. Sorry, she gets the sell. She gets the buyer. So there's $400 with one transaction. She helps 2 other people, and let's just say they do a purchase, but she doesn't get both sides of the commission. She potentially could get $800 by her having an effective 15-minute phone call, right? Is that fair? So let's now quantify that more. If you guys want to grab a calculator, thanks, Don Ray, for sharing. So she could make $800 on a 15-minute phone call. Now, let's assume, you guys all know what that stands for, that you're going to continue to maintain that relationship once a month for a 15 or 30-minute phone call, but it's not like you have to go get new business all the time, right? So for all of you guys that are professionals and you're wanting to do this, this is the relationships you're going to make with prospecting sellers, right? It's not normal that you're going to get a text message and in a 15-minute phone call, because you're proactive and you can understand asking questions, that you're going to develop those skills. It might take you 4 hours. But if you made 4 hours in $800, that's $200 an hour. So let's just do the math real quick. So this is a good exercise. So everyone grab your calculator for fun. This is the importance of understanding how to work with people. $200 an hour times 40. Don, are you just going to keep checking me out, or are you going to grab your calculator? So $200 times 40, you can keep checking me out, times 40 is $8,000, right? Times 50 weeks is $400,000. Alan Walker, would you like to make that gross commission income annually as a realtor? Give me a thumbs up.
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm gonna have you guys start getting familiar with different parts of Zoom that I've been learning. Okay, for you guys too. Okay. Now, would you guys all agree if you guys made hypothetically $400,000 a year after expenses? Let's say your expenses are $200,000, just for fun. Okay. So you're gonna subtract the $200,000. That gives you an effective income of $200,000. Now, regardless if you're self-employed or a wage earner, let's just use this exercise. Now you're talking to a seller, okay? You're talking to a seller, and their taxable amount is $200,000. So now I'm going to do share my screen, and you guys are going to check this out. So they're going to pay $200,000 in tax, taxable event. Mr. Seller or Mrs. Seller, or are we going to say seller? What are you going to do with the money? You guys ready? What are you going to do with the money? Greta Coleman, you have $200,000 in your bank account next week. What are you going to do with the money, please?
As of today, I would probably buy a fifth wheel toy hauler and invest the rest.
She is being honest. How's that? She's being honest. I'm going to buy a fifth wheeler, and then I'm going to invest the rest. Now, here's the question. How much is the fifth wheeler that you want to buy, Greta Coleman?
Let's say it's under $50,000.
$50,000. All right, cool. So if I help you buy your fifth wheeler for $50,000, so please write this question down. Are you going to pay cash or take advantage of low interest rates?
I would probably be.
Nope. I'm not asking you yet. Sorry. Russ Zuck. We're gonna have this be Russ Zuck. You're gonna pay cash for your fifth wheeler, or are you gonna take advantage of low interest rates?
I'm gonna finance it.
You're gonna finance it. All right, cool. You're gonna finance it. Do you happen to know how much your payment will be by financing it?
Let's. I'm just guessing. Let's say it's $750 a month.
Cool. Let's pick this. Okay, guys. This is how you buy properties from sellers. Is you get to know what they're gonna do with the cash. So they're gonna buy a fifth wheeler for $50,000. They're gonna finance it. Let's just pick. Why don't you guys type in the toolbar what you guys think of an RV or fifth wheel interest rates are these days? You guys want to type that in real quick? I have not looked these up in a while. This is what I go over when people are like, hey, what do you want to do? 4.5, 8.5, 4.5. Cool. Let's just do 5%. Okay. So let's grab your financial calculators, and you're going to grab a $50,000. You're going to finance it at 5% over 8 years. What number did you guys come up with? So I'm going to say it one more time. $50,000 at 5% over 8 years. And I'm going to have Dominic and Kristen email what it is. You guys want to type it in? Alan, are you done with that? Cool. What's the number, Alan?
$663 a month. 633, excuse me. 633.
Is that what you got?
I can't see it. What that is.
All right.
Yeah. 633.
All right, cool. So now I'm going to pick, and I wish Nick Condi's face was on here. Christine, we're going to pick you. If your payment is $633 a month, are you open to have that payment paid by passive income and you don't have to do anything? So let me say that one more time. I know that was a really good question, huh? You guys want to write that down? Are you open to finance your fifth wheel and keep your cash of the $50,000 and have that payment get paid by something else?
I would strongly consider that, yes.
You'd strongly consider it. All right. Now, I know that you're the decision maker of the fifth wheel purchase because it does not have to do with Star Wars in your family. So what we're doing is we're finding out the seller's needs, right? We're finding out the seller's needs. What are you going to do with the cash? So she's open to financing it. Now, how does that look like? Okay. So Dominic always asks how. I'm going to tell you what we want, then why. So let's take the $150,000 and we're going to figure out what is that process to give them $633 a month. Okay. So grab your calculators. What I want you to do, this is probably, I don't know, 7th grade math, right? We're going to try to, our option is, I'm going to share this. We have $150,000 and we want to give an income of $633 a month, okay? So I don't care about the amortization. I don't care about what the interest rate is. I just want to give them, we have $150,000 in asset, and we want to give them $633 a month. So does that make sense? What you guys understand what our goal is we're giving them options. We're going to give them, you guys are just going to give me one option, and I'm going to have you guys share. You're going to share me with one option, and then we're going to break those down because we're giving sellers ways to find deals or solutions, okay? So, Alan, I'm going to pick on you because you've probably been on these calls more than anyone else except for Dominic. You guys have matching headphones. You got the white one, and Dominic's got the Mexican one going on right now, okay? So, Alan, what was the interest rate? Sorry if you guys don't like my racist jokes. That's just who I am. So, Alan, with your, I'm half Mexican, by the way. Alan, with your number, what was the finance amount and amortization you gave on $633, please?
Let me make sure I understand. So this is what I did. I took 633 and times it by 12, so I know the annual, and then I just divided that by the 150,000 and came up with 5%. But I'm not sure if I did what you're asking.
Okay, cool. Okay, you guys good? Let's go over this again. We have two variables. We have $150,000 is
right.
what we have for principal or what our asset we're earning. What I'm doing is I'm having you guys work backwards also for your long-term goals so you can calculate your income correctly, okay? But we're also, what we're doing is we're picking $633 a month and we're sharing with Christine how she doesn't need to go pay cash because Russ said he didn't want to pay cash and Greta said she wanted to buy a fifth wheel, and this is how buying from sellers work. We're finding out what they want, right? So you have $150,000. You need to yield $633 a month without reducing your principal. Make sense? So let me help you guys out. If I have $150,000, we're going to do simple math. We have $150,000 and we earn 10% on our money. That's $15,000 a year, right? I'm just going to break this down. If I have $15,000 a year divided by 12, that's $1,250 a month. So do I need to pay them a 10% return thus far, Alan? No.
No.
Because I only need to cover how much do I need to cover a month?
$633.
$633. Got it? You guys understand that? This is, okay? Now, so we're going to do $150,000 and I'm going to pay them 5% on their money just for fun, okay? That's $7500 divided by 12. Ooh, that's close. That's $625 a month, okay? So now let's just make it a little better for them. $150,000, and let's pay them 5.5% is $8,250 divided by 12 is $687. Okay. So if we pay someone hypothetically 5.5% on their money, and we don't have to touch their principal, they can pay for their fifth will. You guys see that? So what I'm going to offer is I want to buy Greta's property for $200,000 to reduce her taxable event, right? We want to reduce the taxable event. So we're going to offer an installment sale, which is a way lower tax income bracket than just long-term capital gains, okay? If we do an installment sale, we want to yield, in this example, $633 a month to pay for what? The fifth will, right? They want to buy a fifth will, just like you guys want to go on vacations, you want to do additions to your houses, you want to put stuff in your basement, whatever you want to do. What we're trying to do, or what we're doing, is we're figuring out how to get what we want with manipulating interest and assets, right? And as we understand what we're getting ourselves, then we can prospect. Like, I could talk to 100 investors on the list of whatever list I have, and I guarantee I can help 60% of them do some type of financing right now if they own a house. And probably of that, 25% are going to want to invest in real estate because we all want the same things. Don Ray looks very serious. We all want cash flow, we all want a better lifestyle, and we want financial freedom, right? However we're going about getting there.
Matt,
When
question
we're calling,
for you.
hold on, Dominic. Hold on real quick, Dominic, please. As we're talking to sellers who own properties, they have a need why they have to sell, right? They're getting divorced, they're upgrading, they're downgrading, they're filing for bankruptcy, they're moving out of state, they're done being a landlord, whatever whatever those reasons are. So the point of this exercise is, and I shared this with you guys in a text, is the more we understand what other people want. So Keith Cunningham said this. Dominic, do you remember what this was? I'm going to let you share this part, Dominic. What did Keith Cunningham say, please? You can look on the board if you need
Well, I'm
to.
looking because of the acronym, but it's basically give them what they want. Actually,
What's the first thing? What's the first thing, please?
and this is new to me, so that's why I'm looking at my notes. FOWTW, which is find out what they want.
Okay, hold on. Write that down, guys. Find out what they want.
What I want to know is this principal reduction that you're talking about not touching the seller's principal. I think I saw Alan Walker kind of nod his head like, hey, where are you going with this? But we're not quite sure. I have an idea.
Okay. We're going to focus on not deals. That's what we're going to cover next month at a class. But I want to talk about finding out from sellers right now. Because here's the whole point. You asked the question is how many of you guys are making phone calls? Not very many, right? I got a text. I picked up the phone, had a conversation with people. We're relying way too much on texting, and we're missing out on deals because people are communicating that they need something. We just have to pick up the phone. So find out what they want. FOWTW. What's the next part, Dominic, of what you find out next?
That's GAGI, GAGI, which is go and get it.
Go and?
As simple as that sounds. Go and get it.
Cool. So yesterday morning, I was speaking with one of my friends. Her name's Dorsey Boterford. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Her dad is Dykes Boterford. Some of you guys may have heard of him. You guys can Google him. He has a company called Assets 101. He's in his 70s. He's 30 years ahead of me. He's totally an ender, okay? It's real estate investing. She said right now in Georgia, it is taking 10 weeks for them to order windows on a fix and flip to get those windows installed. Okay, that they have a huge challenge with materials in their market. I was like, holy cow, that is not good. She said air conditioners are double the price just for the materials because there's a shortage in their market. So as I was speaking with her, she's like, I'm just trying to finish my projects from COVID, where here in Utah, I'm not having a lot of people saying those are the problems that we have right now, right? Here's the problem with the solution. Dominic, what is the last acronym of after find out what they want, go and get it to them, and what's the next part?
Give it to them. Give it to them. GITT. Give it to them.
Cool. So what does this have to do with prospecting and seller financing? Everything. 3 things with this recap for the afternoon. Number 1, We got to have meaningful conversations with people that are in financial hardships. You never know who you're going to buy properties from. Yesterday, I called a friend of mine to ask them about property management, and they sold their property management company 3 months ago. I was actually going to call them to find out what their exit strategy was, because I know it'd be less expensive for me to write a check for whatever amount and get double the doors versus going the slow play. Does that make sense with you guys? So I'm giving you guys different ideas. I'm going to call him this afternoon and find out what his terms were, because if that person defaults on selling the business, guess what I want to go do? Possibly go buy the assets, right? The assets are what? The accounts, the employees, and the cash flow. Same thing with buying rentals. It's the assets, the cash flow, and it's the tenants. Can you get a better price if the property is vacant versus filled? You're going to get a cheaper price if it's been vacant for 6 months versus if you have strong financials. Do you guys agree with that? So number one, have meaningful conversations. Number two, do 2/3. 2/3 listening and 1/3 talking, right? 2 ears, 1 mouth. As we find out from sellers what their financial circumstances are, then we can come up with solutions. Option number 3, as we wrap this up, give 3 solutions regardless of how weird it is. As you give them 3 solutions, then you ask them, of these 3 options, which one do you think is the most beneficial for you? And then they're going to give you feedback. Then as they give you feedback, you're going to make modifications. So we had a little tech challenge. Thanks for technology. It's way better than what we used a year ago. Russ, what was your top takeaway? 15 seconds or less, please.
Find out what they want.
Good. Find out what they want. Don Ray, with your beautiful blue shirt, what was your top takeaway? 14 seconds or less, please.
Just get on the phone and call instead of texting back.
Good. Get it on the phone versus texting back. Christine, 13 seconds or less, top takeaway, please.
Have my financial calculator by me when I get on these calls.
Yeah, you guys, that should be like in the blueprint of I will always have a financial calculator when Matt's talking to us. Guys, it's this basic math, right? So good job. Good takeaway. Greta, 12 seconds or less. Top takeaway, please.
Throw out 3 options and then just kind of spitball it from your feedback.
Good. 3 options, then get feedback. Awesome. If Charlie Mickelson is listening, I know he's listening if he can call. Charlie Mickelson, what was your top takeaway, please? 11 seconds or less.
I'm a witch.
He's still muted. Nick Condi, 10 seconds or less. Top takeaway.
Ask better questions.
Ask better questions. What's up, Crush? All right, Travis Osborne, 9 seconds or less. Top takeaway. And he's not in there. Kristen, top takeaway, 8 seconds or less.
Ask better questions, give them 3 solutions, and run with it.
All right, cool. In closing, thanks for jumping on this call. We covered a lot of different info. Here's my 3 takeaways for you guys. Number 1, sellers are going to have weird scenarios. The more you're understanding what they're trying to accomplish, the more chances you're going to put the property under contract or buy it yourself. Number 2, you guys got to get these financial calculators, these basic calculations down, because really what we're doing is we're helping you establish your own personal cash flow in the future. We won't worry about not to touch the principal. That's why you can communicate with the seller to give them what they want, right? Top takeaway number 3, find out what they want, go and get it, give it to them. There's a book called The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. I'm going to show it to you guys real quick. If you guys have not read or listened to that book, it is his only audio book that he's done. Keith Cunningham was Rich Dad from Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki. I met him about 6 years ago before I even went to a Tony Robbins event. He spoke at the, I'm trying to find this book for you guys real quick. The Road Less Stupid. He spoke at Tony Robbins Business Mastery, and his wisdom is super impactful. Quick story, he said in 1990 he lost $100 million in assets in real estate deals. 1990, when he's 40 years old. He had a totally midlife crisis. My tip was, he said, get divorced first and then lose your assets versus losing your assets and getting divorced, right? So the point, we want to stay married if we can, but I think it's important for us to study, and I think you guys got a lot of good tips for the day. So thanks for chatting. We'll talk to you guys next week, and we'll get our tech figured out. Thanks. Bye-bye.